And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcast. We'll have another great episode for you coming up on the world of pop culture tomorrow, right here for you at the Pop Culture Cosmos, wherever you get your podcast. But also as well, of course, Magic Man is here. He suffered through the game that was robbed from us by terrible officiating throughout, but also as well poor rebounding by the Lakers. He was with us on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Also as well, of course, a big shout out to Joe Sorrell, Simblades, of course, his game Corrupt, and the Joe Sorrell Experiment. Also as well, of course, Empire Jeff TV, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, also as well, of course, the Lakerholics crew at Lakerholics.com, Alfred Esmond, course, Legend 350, all the great people who are part of what we're doing. Stone Hansen as well, covering the NBA draft. All these great people, all these great places. Please support them, especially Laker fans, in your time of need. Help out fellow Lakers fans by liking and subscribing today to go ahead and get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast. And you can become a member today for just $2.99 a month. Please help us out, especially in our time of need, like I said, right here at the Lakers Fast Break podcast. Well, I'll tell you what, Lakers must-win game today. And for a good bit of it, they had control of the game. But with terrible offensive rebounding, where they gave up 18 offensive rebounds, they kept the Minnesota Timberwolves, along with the refs, kept the Minnesota Timberwolves in the game, and unfortunately closed the game again poorly, like they've done in previous games, like they did the last game. Closed the fourth quarter, getting outscored 32-19, and are now going back to Los Angeles with their season on the line, down 3-1 with a 116-113 loss. Again, great performances from LeBron James, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 18 free throws for him. Luka Doncic, 38 points for him. Rui Hachimura, 5 of 10 from 3 and 23 points. Austin Reeves did get 17, but absolutely was not as much of a factor as what we hoped because he had several open looks. DFS was the only 6 points off the bench. And again, the Lakers 116-113 losers as they head back to LA, down 3-1, and here today to go ahead and discuss today's game. Guys that are here regardless. When the times are tough, times are good. We're here for you regardless. First man up, first man here. It is a guy that you got to go ahead and give respect to for lasting with me all throughout the game on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. It's the madman from Toronto. He did get out of Toronto traffic to see this disappointing loss for the Lakers. It is the Magic Man, Sean Grice. Sean, good to have you here. I told you before during the game, I said if this game was going to be lost, the number one stat you can look at, because I know people criticize us for looking at stats, but the number one stat you're going to look at is the offensive rebounds. 18-11, that in a nutshell, along with the refs consistently citing for the Minnesota Timberwolves, was the key to the game. I don't hear you, my friend. Can you? All right. Well, then I guess I'll hand it over to Lakers Corner and Clutch Talk. It is, of course, John Costa. John, way to bail out Sean right there for you.
Of course.
Disappointing loss for the Lakers. They're now head back with their season on the line on Tuesday. Again, offensive rebounds, absolutely a killer. And the officiating, you can say what it is, but yeah, the offensive rebounding, 18-11. That to me is the game in a nutshell, right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any surprise that all the games in this series that we've lost, we've been getting absolutely killed on the offensive rebound. And also another thing that to point out here, and then I'll let Sean go ahead and go with what he was going to go ahead and say, is every single game that we've lost in this playoff series, we've had those end of quarter just swings, end of quarter droughts, and we just cannot put the ball in the basket, and we're just playing some dumb defense. Uh, Honestly, I'm really fucking disappointed with this Lakers team, guys. And Nick T, I don't know if you're watching with your child again. I apologize for the profanity, but I'm really fucking disappointed because, man, we had this game, sealed, locked in a bag. I mean, how many times have we seen? Literally, how many times? Just us four have we seen LeBron and the Lakers botch an inbounds pass? How
Yep.
many times for the game? How many times have we seen this Lakers team go on a 9-0 swing at the end of the last 20 seconds of a quarter? This is ridiculous, man. Whatever, Sean, go talk your shit, brother. I know you were gonna talk.
Well,
Man.
you make a good point because I said it during the game, Magic Man, that after Chicago, learn the lesson. Do not have LeBron inbound your passes. Great game by LeBron. 18 free throws, getting to the line, doing a lot of things that we need to do defensively. Obviously, that block on DiVincenzo, just turning back the clock. Played, 46 minutes out of 48. Absolutely, again, big credit to him. But again, it comes back to if you see things that don't work for you during the season, don't go to it in the playoffs. Don't have LeBron James inbounding the ball. It's just that simple. He's so much better if you have him making a cut, doing something else. But again, it's worked against the Lakers' favor so many times, Magic Man. But again, that's not the only reason why they lost. The offensive rebounds I mentioned, not getting a lot of calls that they should have. There were other factors for it, but you know what? Again, the Lakers are not going back. They're down 3-1.
No,
Magic,
Gerald. Yeah, no,
I can hear you.
Gerald. Yep. No, you can't. A pickle don't turn back into a cucumber. LeBron can't go back in time. I will say this: they don't call traveling anymore in the NBA. So for those of you who are in the chat or in the media sphere talking about traveling, don't talk to me about traveling because the NBA hasn't called traveling for a good 7-8 years. But they did miss a few calls. You missed a moving screen by Rudy Gobert that was clearly a moving screen. The Josh Tiven said Rudy Gobert paused. That's the word he used. He paused. No, he didn't pause. He tried to reset, but his feet were still moving. To me, that's a moving screen. Now, John, I've read the DNB rule book. That's a moving screen to me. But if they want to argue about that, let's go. Gerald, Jane McDaniel clearly tripped Luka Doncic in the fourth quarter. That wasn't called either. There was just bad officiating overall. But bad habits die hard. LeBron James shouldn't be inbounding the ball, Gerald. Yes,
Again,
you
and
are.
again, the
You are
offensive
one of
boards
the. You
killed him.
are one of the greatest facilitators in NBA history, but that doesn't mean that every single player who was a great facilitator inbounded the ball. Magic rarely inbounded the ball. Steve Nash rarely inbounded the ball. Chris Paul rarely inbounds the ball. It's rare that your best facilitator does that because usually you need him with the ball in his hands on the floor, not out of bounds. Secondly, and Gerald brought this up, after the Chicago game, it should have just been a golden rule. LeBron does not inbound the ball. JJ has shown enough chutzpah to put his foot down and get in people's faces, tell them when they're not doing what they're supposed to do. He should obviously, this should obviously be his red line. Like, you will never inbound the ball again as long as I am a coach for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Once again, the Lakers unfortunately lose 116-113. They're down 3-1 in the series, heading back to LA and here today to go ahead and talk about today's game as well. Good man indeed. It is, of course, the man behind Simblades, SimbladesWorldwide.com. His game Corrupt, Coreupt on Steam. And then also as well the Joe Soro Experiment. I'm assuming he's going to have one later tonight now that he's back in town. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here. I know we talked about the offensive rebounding being an issue, officiating being an issue, old habits dying hard with LeBron inbounding the ball. outside of just a tremendous game by him. Luka, him and LeBron having to fade fast. Two things I wanted to go ahead and mention is A, the bench only giving you 6 points, so necessitating LeBron and Luka playing 45 plus minutes. And then also B, Austin Reeves giving you nothing in the first half and having several open looks in the second. Yes, he did get back up to 17, but yeah, several open looks where he had clean looks at the basket and didn't get it done, Joe.
If this was an off game, an off ending, you could have said these guys were taxed in the end. They played all second half. I don't believe there's been apparently. I don't know if Mike Bream. I don't know if I've heard Mike Bream say that no one has ever played an entire second half with just their starters. I don't know that statistic. That's something that I'd have to research. But this has been the problem in several different scenarios, and it's difficult to criticize LeBron. He did some amazing stuff on defense, even that last play, and the inbounds pass is a coach that continues to not recognize that that's a major problem, and he has not solved it all year, and it came back to bite him. And more than that is you've had Luka Doncic on your team for what will be almost 3 months now, and I still haven't seen one final shot set that could get him open for a shot. This is your clutch gene. With all due respect to LeBron James, he's never been clutch. He's won big games. He's shown up in big games. He's won multiple championships. But that doesn't mean he's a clutch player. Clutch player is a feel. It's not a statistic. It's not a statistic. The statistic says that Joe Johnson is the best buzzer beater shot maker in with Michael. Or actually, I don't know if he's one off of Michael, but Joe Johnson is up there, right? He's either got an 8 or 9. I can't remember what it was. So what do you want me to say now? You want me to rely on?
He has 9.
Okay, so he is tied with Jordan. Jordan has 9. So you want me now to put all my eggs in Joe Johnson's basket because he's hit 9? No. Clutch is a moment, and it's consistent. It's a fear. It's a fear. When Kobe, let's say, wasn't hitting clutch shots, you know who was hitting clutch shots? D. Fish, Robert Ory, Ron Harper. And then fast forward, we had 2 guys during the 2010 run that hit clutch shots. One was in Oklahoma City with Powell having that tip in to finish Oklahoma City in the first round. And then the Phoenix series when it seemed like 8 guys were covering Kobe on that last shot. And here comes Ron Artest, free and clear, picks up the ball, throws it in, and makes it. And they win game 5. That's not a coincidence, guys. Clutch means so many things. It means so many things. And no matter Denver 2 years ago, no matter Minnesota, no matter Charlotte Hornets during the regular season, or the Utah Jazz in Utah, it's the same theme. Inability to fundamentally do the things that you're supposed to do. And then on top of that, you cannot get the ball to the one guy that's made his living hitting clutch shots against this team, though, mind you. So whose fault is it? Are we going to sit here and blame LeBron? And now we have to talk about, oh my God, he's not better. Like the act is tired. The act is tired. I'm tired. I've been driving all night, all day. I was up late last night. I had to get up early to come over here. It was a long drive. So I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure out, why is it deja vu all over again, game in and game out with these guys when it matters? Because it doesn't matter who they're playing. It doesn't matter which pieces are around certain players on this team. You've had different coaches. You've had different star players on this team, and the theme stays the fucking same. Sorry about the curse word to whoever's kid is watching. What is it? So tell me, you smart people out there, and don't tell me it's LeBron because he's not the best in the. No, I don't want to hear that. I want to know an answer. I want to hear what you got to say. Why can't JJ Redick devise a plan to have his clutch guy open? How long have we been waiting? 3 months. Do it. Now it's the time to do it. How come you can't inbound the ball? I want to know. I really want to know what your thoughts are on that. And at this point, this team is just it's lacking players. There's no argument against it. This has been an issue the moment Luka came to LA. It's not set up. It's not set up yet. It doesn't have any front core anything. It just doesn't. And they played their asses off. Austin played his ass off. LeBron played his ass off too. Luka played his ass off. DFS was hitting shots. Rui was hitting shots. If it was just one of those games where the Lakers lost and it wasn't something tied to history of losing like this, I would have said, "Damn, this was an amazing game, man. Amazing game. We just came up short." But no, this is a reoccurring theme, and it's the same problem over and over again. So until the Lakers figure out how to devise a plan to inbound the ball, and also it seems like I'm seeing this a lot lately. I'm going to put a button on this. If I'm JJ Redick after this season, because it's too late right now, you sit Luka down and you sit everybody down and you tell them to shut the fuck up from now on. Enough talking to the refs. Talk once in a while, fine. But enough already. Play the goddamn fucking game and go win. That's it.
Joe, so question to you, because I agree that JJ Redick as a coach, like, you have to have some simple inbounds plays. Like, every level of basketball I played, we had multiple inbound plays like that were set. Whether it was a number, whether it was a state name, a color, regardless. I don't think JJ has many in, clearly. And then also, I also agree with you on the point of JJ has to have a set to get, Luka and LeBron an easy open shot here in late game situations. So then that my question to you is then, like, how does this change your view on JJ? Does this change your view on JJ?
It's not good. It's not good. It's still his rookie year, though. But here's the issue. So people are, I don't know what they are. I mean, I do know, but I'm not going to go there now. Locking up Luka. I've never seen somebody. What did he drop? 40? He's locked up. Okay, listen. I want you guys to open your ears, your eyes, your assholes, whatever the fuck it is that you need to open. How is Luka being locked up when it's ISO at the top of the key and he's getting essentially shaded every time? That's bad management by the team. That's bad management by the coaching. You're putting Luka. He was on the right end of the front court. That cannot happen. That's like going on the ropes, but you're not Muhammad Ali. Only Muhammad Ali made going on the ropes win a title for him. I don't know anybody else that just hung around ropes. You put yourself in the corner, and you're asking for disaster. You have very athletic guys that are very tall that are going to be a problem. So if you're going to create an offense where Luka is bringing the ball up or getting the ball at the front, at the beginning of that, once they clear that half court, there's got to be room for him to operate. If you're going to sit there and say, well, let him continue to move around, you're going to zap his energy, and you're going to give enough time for the secondary defender to come mess him up or close the lanes. That's all. I mean, do they not have a choice? Well, what do you guys do all day? You guys didn't practice yesterday, I heard. Why? Why didn't you practice? What makes you so special? You're tired? Well, that could be it too. So it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how many points you've had in your career. It doesn't matter What happened in the other city that you played in? Here's the theme that has stayed the same for 3 seasons. Lakers, with a minute left, blow it.
Yeah.
So what else is there? What is? I want a solution to that, and I don't want some mundane bullshit. Somebody got handled. No, that no one gets handled when they drop 38 points. Idiots.
It's
Stop saying stupid shit like that. That is stupid. It's stupid commentary, and you look like a fucking idiot. Who scores 38 points and gets locked down? How? Watch the fucking game. Watch. It's a matter of offense running the wrong plays because these are all NBA players. They're going to adapt. If you're going to give them a chance to make up ground, they will. This is an issue of execution. And you know what the Lakers are good at doing when it comes to execution? Fucking killing themselves. Executing themselves. That's where they've been really good at when it matters.
That's what Minnesota was waiting for. They were just waiting for it.
And that is something that any coherent opposition, coach, player, anything, will feast on because these are professionals. These are athletes that are freakishly athletic.
Gerald, in the last, and this is the last 9 minutes and 27 seconds of the fourth quarter of the past 2 games, the Lakers have been outscored 32-13.
Wow.
32-13. They were 10. They were outscored 13-1 in game 3 in the last 4.5 minutes. And tonight they were outscored 19-9 in the last 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Sean, give that stat again.
So in game 3, in the last 4 minutes and 37 seconds, the Lakers were outscored 13-1. In the last 4 minutes and 50 seconds of game 4, the Lakers were outscored 19-9.
Wow.
So in over almost 10 minutes of basketball, the Lakers are minus 22. And it just goes to show what Joe was saying there, because he kind of I wanted to segue into what he just said. He got finished saying there. Minnesota's just waiting for us to flub up. I'll cue the language here for Nick T's child, but yeah, they're just waiting for us to flub up because either a turnover, a lapse pass. They're talking about it. They talked about it at halftime, Gerald. I guarantee it. Chris Finch was like, "Just wait, guys. There's going to be a scoring lull with them where they don't score for about 4.5 minutes, and we might be down 10 or 12, but don't worry about it because we could score with the best of them." Or he's also telling them, just wait, guys. JJ has to play LeBron and Luka 45, 46 minutes. They're going to get tired. LeBron's going to make a mental mistake, or Luka's going to bust down defensively. I mean, Gerald,
Luka missed some shots by foot, a couple 2 7-footers in a row, and
he's also got to. Gerald, he also has to be better with his spatial awareness. I understand you're trapped on the sideline and you need somebody to come and help you, but what am I supposed to do if I only have about 6 inches of room to try and maneuver around a screen? I can't really help you as much as you need, Luka. So he needs to do a better job of recognizing when that happens, Gerald, because if you notice, Minnesota isn't really doubling him with his eyes to the rim. They're doubling him when he turns his back to the rim.
They're trying to trap him in the corner.
Right, and there's like no communication. You know, you're LeBron James. You're supposed to be one of the smartest players that has ever played this game. I'd be screaming across. Watch the double. Watch the double. Somebody come over and help.
John, let me just bring it to you, my friend. Again, the Lakers lose 116-113, down 3-1. Nick T in the super chat did comment about how the Lakers players, the Lakers stars, may be gas, and he, among others, is going to give the usual call for Dalton Connect. Again, as much as I love the kid shooting, he is extremely soft, And I don't know if you want in this playoff intensity giving him minutes, but you've got to do something. You got to do something because you're getting nothing off your bench and you're forcing LeBron and Luka to play extended minutes, John. And that isn't helping the cause, as you see down the stretch of the last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, playing a 40-year-old LeBron James who only has so much in the tank the entire second half. I mean, that's I wouldn't even necessarily put that on bad coaching because I would more put that on bad roster construction because you have no one else that you can trust besides your 5 guys that you can put in that second half. I mean, I'd put that more to just bad roster construction. But I mean, look, it's not 2K, guys. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I said this on my playback. I was like, look, we're gonna play these guys this small ball the entire second half. Like, we're bound to have a scoring load, a drop off, a scoring drought, because like these guys, they're gonna get tired. They're gonna get tired of going back and forth. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Every quarter, the Lakers seem to, get nonchalant in the last couple of minutes. I don't know if nonchalant is even the right word for it, to be honest with you. But one thing I didn't want to say is like I do think that JJ Redick like hasn't done a great job. And if you go back to one of my original takes I ever had when JJ Redick first got hired, I was like, look, like this is gonna be an up and down type of year. Like we're gonna have our ups, we're gonna have our downs. But he's gonna learn a lot in this. He's gonna learn a lot in this first season, and I'm in the liking of like, let's actually stick it out with this guy. I think that's one of the Lakers' biggest issues with coaches and players is like they always just want to be good and they want to be at the forefront of news. So that it's like if a coach doesn't do good like 1 or 2 years, or if a player isn't doing good, unless it's a superstar player, it's like, all right, let's get him out. Let's see how we can, flip this thing around right now. But like great things and good things take time. So I personally want to, I don't want to see JJ Redick fired or anything like that. I know that some people are saying that in the chat, but I just want to see them ride it out here with JJ through his mistakes and through the good.
And Doomer, you are incorrect on your statement. Please.
You're a lying motherfucking piece of shit. If you say one more fucking lie, if you say one more lie, you're out. That's it. I'm done with this. Stop lying.
Do not.
Stop making shit up.
Because that's all you're doing, Doomer.
Yeah.
We said this already. Don't put words in our mouth. That's how rumors start. That's how people get messed up. Go do that shit on Twitter or whatever that video game fucking app is, whatever it is. Discord. I don't know what the hell it is. Go be or Reddit. Go be a bunch of jerk offs over there. You want to talk shit? Talk shit. Don't lie. Don't make up shit. Talk shit. Don't lie.
Tell him, Joe.
Jesus Christ. I know children that can comprehend English better than you motherfuckers.
All I've ever said is that now that we have Luka and LeBron in a playoff series.
There's a chance when you have Luka and LeBron. Duh!
All I've ever said.
Don't flip the words around or you're going to be doomed. Away. Go jerk off somewhere else. Go jerk off someone else too, by the way. I'm sick of this. What is this? How many times I got to say it?
Wait, what'd you say at first?
Was flipping slip that I meant to say, actually. Go jerk somebody else off.
No, that was good. That was good what you said originally. That was actually better.
Sometimes I'm too good for my own good. It is what it is. Seriously, every goddamn comment is the same stupid shit. Talk normal. Talk some shit. Oh, Nico was right. Oh my God, Nico's in the room doing stuff. Okay, fine. All right, if that's what you think he's doing, fine. Not this. Hey, Joe said the weather was going to rain tomorrow, but it's snowing.
That shit is annoying. No lie.
When you make stuff up, you have zero credibility.
It's gone. It's
I don't
gone.
check your blood pressure. You go check your blood pressure. My blood pressure's fine.
No, but seriously, that's why we get upset about this stuff, because that is a credibility issue.
Yeah, Gerald, that's why I was pissed yesterday they were trying to say I never critique LeBron James. I'm like, that's a fucking lie.
That's a lie. I've heard John repeatedly critique him.
What do you want us to blame Luka for? I want to know this. What are we blaming Luka for? Missing shots?
They were saying I never critique LeBron.
We didn't critique LeBron. Did we say anything bad about LeBron tonight? He was playing his ass off. But the theme is he's the common denominator when it comes to clutch play at the end of games. I'm just saying, it's not me.
Which is something
it's not him lately. It's poop play in the clutch.
After the Chicago game, just don't have him inbound the ball. It's just that simple.
This is a coaching problem because he controls that. JJ Redick controls who inbounds the ball, and he doesn't learn his lesson. LeBron doesn't think well under pressure. This has been a 22-year issue. This is not this year that this has been a problem. It is. Get with it. Okay, do you want me to throw that out? Now, Luka missed shots. Luka's basically creating every second of every minute of this game, especially in the second half. What do you want him to do? He's got 2 and 3 guys all over his ass all the time. So blame what? Everything's about, we got to blame this guy and then go blame this guy. Tonight is a team loss. It's a team loss, and it's unfortunate that it was because a lot of guys played their ass off, including LeBron, including Luka. DFS was making shots. Rui was making shots. Reeves was busting his ass trying to guard freaking deer and gazelles and still hitting shots. You go guard McDaniels. You have any idea how freakishly athletic that guy is? You have any idea how hard it is to guard Edwards?
A Julius Randle shoulder to the chest. Oh, that fucking would hurt. Oh,
do you have any clue? You know, I don't literally have a clue. I didn't play in the NBA. But guys that are 6'8", that can tiptoe around you, smack you in the face, and shoot a shot from 30 feet and make it, that's a different beast. That's not normal.
Shit's tough.
Okay? I could do that all day outside, every day for 20 years and not be able to do that. So this blame thing, it's always some blame. The issue is identity. This team is not going to be the team that you need to win at the end of the game. And there's been different parts in it, man. There's been different parts. They keep changing the oil. They keep changing the tires. They keep changing the sunroof, the window. It doesn't matter. The car sucks. It needs to be DFA'd. I use the baseball term there because Dodgers won.
Magic.
You need to take this. You need to take this car to the chop shop.
Now the
brand new car.
Classic GTA reference.
Closing the end of quarters, Magic Man. We saw it all game long, but this has been also just like the inbounding of the ball been an issue for the Lakers. Closing quarters has been a continual issue for the Lakers, not just the fourth, but throughout the game. And it just seems where, like, again, letting go of the string, whatever vernacular you want to use, it just seems like the focus and the Lakers just step off the gas just enough to not finish quarters strong. It comes back to haunt them. It did today. We've seen it twice in a row in the fourth quarters, both last game and this one. But again, we saw it in the second quarter, third quarter. They just don't finish quarters strong, Magic.
No, they do not finish quarters strong, Gerald. And to put this into perspective, the Wolves were one of the worst clutch teams in the NBA this year. They've blown multiple games of 25, 30-point leads. But yet the Lakers, through fatigue, mental lapses, coaching errors, befuddling adjustments, have made them look like a pretty clutch team. They're not that clutch. It's true. They do have outstanding athletes on both ends of the floor, but they're not a very well-coached, smart team. They rely.
Hold on. Lakers in 5. Just stop spamming your stuff. Okay, stop spamming it, please. We don't want to see it.
This isn't DJ, right? This is not DJ, right?
There's no
I
way.
don't-
DJ's hella cool.
Yeah,
DJ's
there's
a
no
cool
way.
ass guy.
Yeah.
There's no way
Okay.
it's DJ. I'll be honest.
Okay,
And
go ahead, Magic. Sorry about
and
that.
Gerald, I'd like to say, you know, it's one. I understand the commentator feeling themselves, and you know, Richard Jefferson has a certain vibe to him. It's not good as a commentator, but he is incorrect. JJ Redick is not the first NBA coach to play all 5 of his starters in the second half. Larry Brown did it.
Tom Thibodeau did it.
Thibodeau's done it.
I
Jeff
mean, I was
Jeff
going to say,
Jeff
Tom
Jeff Van
Thibodeau-
Gundy did
Tom
it.
Thibodeau's in the league, Magic
Yeah,
Man. There's no
yeah.
way that could be happening
Yeah.
without Tom Thibodeau
And,
being in the
and
league.
to correct Richard Jefferson, Jeff Van Gundy did it twice. Once with the Knicks, once with the Rockets. So yeah,
I was going to say because
I don't know why
kind of
he's. Yeah, I don't know why he's making this stuff up on the fly. I really don't.
I'll say this again, John. You know, when it comes to the Lakers, just to get it done down the stretch after the game, Luka Doncic acknowledged the disappointment of losing a game where the Lakers led by as many as 12, and they were leading with 7 with 5 or 6 left. Missed shots. Luka did get it done down the stretch. Not just them, it's just the fact, again, as a team, John, they're just not getting it done down the stretch. You're not executing when they need to the most, John.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I said on when I came on the stream here is I talked about that us not learning from our mistakes of having LeBron inbound the ball. That's just not his strong suit, and then us also not learning from our mistakes of continuously over and over and over giving up, swings and runs to close quarters. Like I don't know how the Lakers want to become an elite team, because one thing I learned when I was hooping my whole life is if you end a quarter on fire, man, that brings you coming into you come into the next quarter feeling like you rolling still. You're like, man, they couldn't stop me last quarter. I'm gonna keep going to it. And again, it didn't just happen. It didn't just happen in the fourth quarter, guys. It happened legitimately every quarter. We were supposed to outscore them, and we should have won the first quarter by like 15 points, to be honest with you. But
Hey,
then
John,
they went on.
John, hey, sorry to interrupt your flow,
No, you're
brother,
good.
but I agree 100%. And I thought that a key, me and Gerald were talking about this, a key sequence in that first quarter was when the Lakers were up 32-24 and Luka Doncic is going in for a layup, blows the layup, Gerald, and the Wolves went on a 5-0 run to end the quarter.
It was a 7-point swing, Sean. Look, I literally have this in my notes because I'm going to talk about this in my game recap. You're right. So the score, we were up, right? 32-24. Luka missed the layup, didn't get back, and got the layup on the other end. And then they got a steal. They got a steal, hit a 3, and then they got the other steal. And then that's when Anthony Edwards then had got fouled, went to the free throw line, and hit 2. If my math is right, that's 2 points. 3 points leaves us to 5, and then another 2. That's 7 fucking points. And it happened in the first quarter, happened in the second, and it happened in the fourth. So I'll say this, man. I mean, we've all said it. Everyone here on this panel has said it multiple times. We don't think this team is a championship team, but until we can figure out how we, choke in late quarter situations, like we'll never be a championship team. We're still far from it. Like, roster is not theirs, but we've said that multiple times.
It's so funny because I guess the Lakers Doomer got scared off. You guys did you guys time him out? I don't know if you guys timed him out as far as our mods are concerned.
JY timed him out.
Oh, okay. I know. I thought they timed out Lakers in 5, but I was wondering if they timed out Lakers.
I mean, I was getting ready to. I was about ready to just throw him out, Gerald. After he said that to you, Joe, I was getting ready to throw the bastard out. Lying. You know what? And you're a lying bastard. You're lying bastard.
There's some new people here. You guys
Shout
can
out
talk
LB.
smack all you want. No racial stuff. Okay. Number 1, no racial stuff. And I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm not saying, white men can't jump comments of the movie. Like, that's okay, obviously. Context, please, folks, context. I'm talking about malicious racial stuff. That's a no-no right away. You're done. The other is don't put words in our mouth, okay?
Please.
We're going to be wrong 100 times on this show. Predictions, what happens with certain players. It's going to sound like we're favoring this guy, that guy, whatever. You want to smack on us on that, fine. Don't say we said something, though, that we didn't say over and over again. We'll let it slide after about 18. Doomer said it like 40 times. Fuck you. Okay, that's it. We're done with you. Shut up. Seriously, Jesus Christ. How much attention do you need?
Shout out SB, man. SB showing love.
Happy birthday to SB.
And
See?
happy
That's
birthday
all
to
this.
SB. Yes.
Happy birthday to SB.
Yes, happy birthday to SB. Absolutely.
One of our
Freedom.
great mods.
Freedom.
Yes.
Listen, man. Listen. No matter how hot I get, you know who Bill Parcells is, right? You all know who Bill Parcells is, okay? Bill Parcells is healthy as a clam. You ever see that guy coach? And that guy coached in New York twice.
And he wants you to get an estrogen shot.
Okay? I'm pretty sure Bill Parcells never took an estrogen shot. I don't know for sure, but I'm taking a guess. Sean, are you with me on that? I mean, how about Nick Saban? You ever see Nick Saban? My guy, Nick Saban. Sean's guy, too. You ever see Nick Saban coach in practice? He is going to commit murder every practice. Forget about practice. They're up 40 points. He's yelling nickel, 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 nickel.
They're up by
nickel,
50. They're up by 50.
nickel.
They're up by 50, and
They're
he's
up by
yelling
50. What is he worried about a nickel? So what? He cares. I
It's
care.
about the
We
little
care.
thing. It's about the little things, Joe. The professionalism of it all.
And boy, you're right. LeBron should have shot that three. He was getting.
But I love that. I love that they care, man. I love you guys care.
Calls.
Thank you. You guys care. I can see it. I can feel it. Sorry, G. Sorry.
Gerald, there hasn't been one point in this series where all three of them have been cooking, realistically, and playing off one another together. It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Either one will have a good game and the other one won't, or Austin Reeves just hasn't shown up at all, and then one will be sick, the other one will decide to show up.
Exactly, Johnny. That's what happened tonight. Reeves came on in the third quarter, but that was after Luka and LeBron tried to do their best to keep the Lakers in the game, and it was 61-58 at halftime, Gerald. And the thing is,
Luka's not getting the calls, but LeBron is, Sean. LeBron, I can't say that the refs were totally against the Lakers. They did make some terrible calls against the Lakers, but when you're going to the free throw line like LeBron is 18 times, I will give it to you. But there were several times for Luka where he didn't get the call. I think it was legitimate as far as him getting hit when he's taken it to the hole. Okay, they're going to miss it. I get it. Whatever. Again, they gave LeBron 18 free throws, so obviously they were calling everybody his. But that one at the end, Magic Matt, that call at the end where he knocked the ball off of Edwards, that was weak. That was absolutely a weak call that they overturned. I really think the refs should just stay out of it. Just stay out of the way. Let these guys play when it comes to under a minute to play, unless it's really definitive. That was not definitive. I think they need to let that go. They essentially were trying, in a sense, to go ahead and give that ball back to Minnesota by any means possible.
I agree, Gerald, and I'm stealth about it, and I'll stay stealth until they actually do it. Every single review that the NBA wants to look at should be in the last 2 minutes of a half, should be the complete and utter discretion of the replay center, not the officials. I think
it was weak all day. It was weak all day. Come on. Hand is part of the ball right there. It was weak. Don't tell us that wasn't a weak foul. That was weak. That was off of Anthony Edwards. Come on. Give it a break.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick. So I guess
Luka didn't get calls. You take a look, Kumba. Take a look at the free throws. Take a look at the times he drove and did not get a call. When he was pushed out of bounds and didn't get a call. So don't tell me that. Don't tell me it. Watch the game. Watch the game. You guys aren't watching the game. You guys are just looking at the stats. And that's the problem. You guys are looking at stats and not watching the game. When you see Luka flying off into the out of bounds and no call is made, you cannot tell me that it's the opposite.
And Gerald, again, Jamie Sweet, I'm calling you out, brother. Since we might be out in 5 or 6, I'm calling you out because you need to be in the frying pan about why you think that Jared Vanderbilt is so valuable for the Lakers. This is the first playoff series that Luka has played, Gerald, where he hasn't had a traditional lob threat. And it's also the first time that somebody has been in the dunker spot for the Lakers that is under 6'9". It's been DFS, it's been LeBron, it's been Rui. You're under 6'10" there. So that's also a difficult spot.
But Hayes worked so hard in his 4 minutes, Sean, as I told you, he needed to ice his knees. Yeah. That was hilarious, John. I don't know if you saw it. It was like in the fourth quarter. I think it was like our second half. He was just walking out there, after a timeout, and he's icing his legs. And I'm like, the guy only played 4 minutes. What the hell is he icing his legs for?
Yeah, Gerald, we had something like that a few weeks ago when we were playing Shinny. One of our guys played like 8 minutes and 30 seconds, and one of our friends was like, "Really, dude? You're icing your knees after playing 8.5 minutes? Are you serious? Are you really? Are you?"
So, Joe, again, it comes
Gerald, really quick.
Ahead.
I just want to say this. So I guess because we were on the show yesterday. Remember when that person? I guess it wasn't Nick T. When that person was like, "Dude, can you please stop cussing? I have my child here with me." And then I was like, "All right, I'm sorry. I won't cuss as much."
I think it was Tom Tibbs.
It was Tom Tibbs.
It was Tom Tibbs. Yeah, it was. It was Tibbs. Yeah. I've got my child here. Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, "Guys, please stop cussing. Like, my kid is here." And I was like, "All right, I'm sorry." But all right, sorry, Nick T. I thought it was you, brother. I thought it was you.
It wasn't. It was Tibbs.
It was Tom Tibbs.
It was Tibbs.
Sorry, Nick T.
So let me get Joe back into this. Some of the you've said a lot of the issues come right down to coaching. I said again all season long, it's going to be an up and down ride. When you have a rookie head coach, it is going to be an up and down ride, no matter how talented he is, and he's learning his lumps. A guy who has not had any kind of coaching beforehand at any big time level, but. There's also the obvious, Joe. And when something doesn't work right over a period of an entire season and you go back to it in the playoffs and it doesn't work again, it just makes you understand is how many times does it not have to work before you change things? And, we're seeing a pattern. And when you see patterns as a coach, you're trying to go ahead and find ways to get out of that pattern so it benefits your team. And I just don't see that changing for JJ Redick right now, Joe.
Freedom was asking me a question about what we need.
Oh, outside the take the estrogen shot.
It was either one that said it.
He was.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he meant it. I don't know if he meant it as a derogatory. At least I didn't think he did.
I think it was just a little kid in there.
It's HGC, by the way. That's the shit that Jerks and Profar got caught with.
No, but he wanted you to cry. He wanted to see you cry. So
I don't cry over losses.
I bet you could give Joe a whole onion and ask him to take a bite out of it. He still would cry.
Yeah, I know it's a joke.
Sean,
it was a joke.
Sean, that's funny you say that. That's funny you say that. You see the letters here? Yeah, that happened. That was the worst. 10 times worse than Olives, by the way.
It is.
Dude, that was bad. That was bad.
I've done it too, Joe. I'm not going to cry.
But it's a memory.
A big chunk of it.
Yeah, it's a memory. It was bad.
I was good for about the first 20 seconds, and then it all.
Look, man, you eat it when you want to eat it, and that shit doesn't go away. Imagine when you don't want to eat it.
Because I got that bet too. I bet you'll cry if you bite into an onion. I was like, yeah, I'll take that bet.
So back to answering Freedom's question. Who do we need in the offseason? There's a few names that are going to be free agents, although those players are likely going to get big contracts. One's in the series. That's Naz Reid. But I think he's going to garner 25, 30 mils. So unless there's some weird sign and trade that they work out with Minnesota, I don't know how that's going to work.
So here's the question. Is Austin Reeves a number 3 option? Legitimately, because through 2 playoff series, Gerald, and I'm using the Nuggets, he's not. He's not
at all.
The physicality ticks up, the on-ball pressure ticks up, and Austin can't handle it right now, Gerald. He just can't handle it against a
But the thing is, well, as I said, Magic Man, the Lakers have to come to terms with Austin Reeves and Rui. Do you want to commit more money to them? And in the case of Austin Reeves, that's going to be 30 to 40 million. And the thing is, I don't see that as something the Lakers should do. So they should go ahead and maximize his, his stock as best you can in the offseason by getting multiple players back that will help your team and deepen your team. But then again, that's a question hopefully we won't have to answer for a while. Hopefully the Lakers will come back starting on Wednesday. But Joe, again, getting back to JJ, we've said it all season long, you have to make different. When you see something that's not right, you have to change it. But when it repeatedly happens again and again about the Lakers making mistakes off inbounds, not running set plays very well out of timeouts, and basically not finishing quarters strong, that's a problem. That's a big time problem.
You talking to Joe or me or who?
Yeah, I was talking to Joe.
Oh, sorry, I've been answering questions. So I got asked if I think Anthony Edwards has been the best player in this series. I think Julius Randle's been playing out of his mind up until the second half of tonight's game. He's been a problem for 2.5 games. I'm sorry, 3.5 games. It's just that Anthony Edwards went into a different level towards the end of the game. He's the best player in the series, yeah, but I've noticed Randle being more of a pest and McDaniels, and I think that's by design. I think Edwards has been conserving his energy by using the guys ahead of him. He had mentioned before the game that he wants Randle to be more active. He wants the ball to go to him more because I think he senses the kind of the role that he wants to play when it matters, and it mattered tonight because he was hitting shots from all over. So yeah, I'm not going to argue that if you're saying Anthony Edwards is the best player in this series, yeah, you're probably right. But I've noticed Randle being a very valuable player, and if he wasn't, I don't know if they'd be up right now. I think it probably would be 2-2. I think him shooting threes on the regular reminds me of Rondo in 2020. This is a guy that never could hit from 3 on a consistent basis. All of a sudden,
don't give me this crap about how he's some great facilitator. He's not. He's just great passing out of double teams. You know who else is great passing out of double teams, Gerald? Jason Tatum. But nobody's calling Jason Tatum a triple threat. Don't call Anthony Edwards a triple dub threat either. He's just great passing off of doubles. Some guys are really great at that. Now he is a great rebounder, and despite what we're doing in this series, he's going to get his boards. But don't sit there and say, "Oh, well, Anthony Edwards is a great facilitator." He's not. He's good, but don't call him Nikola Jokic of guards. He's not.
He's a shot-making scorer.
He can score.
That's his thing.
And shoot.
He's a tough shot maker.
That's it.
And he travels too, but they don't call it.
Absolutely. Especially on that last one. Yeah, absolutely travels.
So let me bring it back to you, John. And again, the Lakers lose 116-113. They're down 3-1 in the series. Next game is on Wednesday. What do they need to do between now and then? What do they need to tweak? Because again, these are very close finishes. Just a couple things need to tweak to get things around in the favor of the Lakers. I think first off, offensive rebounding. When you give up 18 offensive rebounds, that has obviously got to change. The points off of turnovers, 12 turnovers led to 19 points for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But offensive rebounds, you cannot continually give this team third and fourth chances, John.
Yeah, it's going to come down to offensive rebound. So cleaning the glass, second chance points, exactly what you said. But it's also going to come down to Austin Reeves actually stepping up as that third option, right? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. This is something I was saying in my playback. Like, people kept mentioning, wow, Luka and LeBron have scored 90% of Lakers points, or Luka and LeBron have scored unassisted on 69 Lakers points when we had 69 points. But to me, in my opinion, in such a dire game, when so much is on the line, yeah, why would you not want the ball in your best player's hands, like every single time, making a decision every single time? But the thing is, in that first half, we got a big donut from AR, and one thing that we've seen is that we are at our best when we got that three-headed monster going, when we got Luka coming down at you, and then Bron running the lanes, and then Bron can run the offense, and then you dish it to AR. Now you're playing AR on the closeout. Now AR is like you're closing out to AR. He's going to the hoop, getting that to the free throw line because he's really good at drawing the foul. And then if AR blows by you, swing to a Dorian Finney-Smith in the corner, a Rui in the corner. Those guys really, really have to step up, but it's going to start with AR. It's really, really going to start with AR, because I think, teams are really smart in the NBA. Scouting is really good in the NBA, and they can devise a plan where, they can, you can't shut off and cut and lock down Luka or LeBron, but, you can just force them into really tough shots. And then, which is when, the ARs of the world step up. But with that being said, though, I am about to head out through my 3-minute game recap. So just want to give a really quick shout out. So appreciate everybody that's been in here. If you guys want to check out my channel, please do. It's called Lakers Corner. I'm on YouTube. I do 3-minute game recaps. I do a game recap where I get into the highlights, do some more game film. And then check out my Instagram, which is Lakers_corner, and then TikTok as well. But for now, I'm out of here, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Until then,
thank you, John.
Lakers Nation. All right, guys. All right, Joe. All right, Sean. See you guys.
Appreciate it, John, as always. Of course, it's Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner for John. Joe, did you log in as yourself, or did you log in under me for today? Because I'm going to have you probably take over, because I got to head out here soon.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll be fine.
Okay, and on that note, before I leave, Parade on Figueroa, Sean, I'm going to start with you. You talked about Austin a little bit already. I said I would move him in the summer, personally. But after the performance so far in the playoffs, are you looking to move? For me, I just don't think he fits the right pieces that you need in the playoffs. It looks great during the regular season, but in the playoffs, some things just don't come to fruition the way you wanted to when it comes to Austin Reeves. So yes, I would, when his stock is at an all-time high, Parade, I would trade him for valuable assets. Your thoughts, Sean? And on the way out, I just want to again thank you, everybody. Truly appreciate you joining us. You still have Sean and Joe here, and I will be heading out. But on that note, Parade's asking you guys, would you trade him in the summer?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would, Joe.
It depends on the package.
No,
you have to bring back.
Yes, I would trade him this summer only for this reason. During the regular season, Austin Reeves could be a great third option, and in spots he's a great second option. In the playoffs, intensity ticks up, on-ball pressure ticks up a little bit, physicality ticks up. He can't handle it, Joe. We've seen it. This is the third get the can for him in a highly contested environment. We saw it in FIBA, and I've seen enough basketball in the past 2 postseasons to tell me enough that Austin Reeves isn't that third option. So I would go with the clear cut, get Luka a deep playoff run with a lob threat. This is the first time he's ever played in a big spot where somebody at the dunker spot isn't a reliable option for him. And I think that's also been in the back of his mind as well. So to me, package aside, I think you go out and you try and find you get that all-star center beside Luka.
Yeah, I don't know who that is yet. I don't know who that would be. I'm gonna wait till the offseason to really analyze that. The fans that are talking about Anthony Edwards being, him. You guys got to be careful a little bit because I'm not seeing this Minnesota team going all the way, anyways. And when the season ends, they're not going to be able to sign Naz Reid. So they're going to lose a big part of their identity with that guy, and they're going to be, unless they bring in somebody or they draft somebody that can somewhat cover that, or at least get a couple guys who can cover his effectiveness.
Joe, I love that. I love that scene from Moneyball. Is there another guy like Giambi who's a free agent? No. And if there was, could we afford him?
No.
Then what the fuck are you talking about?
You gotta make it in the aggregate.
But yeah, this is what happens with your small market team.
And new ownership.
And
one of them is, I guess, A-Rod's a big part of that. God help us all. I don't know what I don't know what he's gonna do there. But there was a clear understanding that this team is not necessarily built yet for the eventual number one, which is going to be Luka. And until that team is put together correctly, it's going to be hard to gauge what these series will end up being. Luka got to the finals last year with a rookie center whom didn't really start a lot, and then a couple guys that got acquired at the deadline, and then Kyrie Irving being his number two. And I'm not a big fan of Jason Kidd as a coach. I don't think he's a good head coach either. So I'm not making an excuse, but a lot of holes in that. But they were getting there. They were slowly kind of building that. They had P.J. Washington. They had Gafford. Maybe another year or two, and then a couple more pieces. I think they would have probably made a run, which is probably why Dallas is upset too, because they were right there. I don't know if Kyrie's going to get worse year by year. Now looking at it now, I'm talking about. I was looking at it then. Now, obviously, that would have been a done deal. It wouldn't have worked. So for Luka, for him to be what he needs to be, because this is still a team sport, and all teams need to be built around the one. And when it's not built right, there's a deficiency, right? So you look at Michael Jordan back in the day, or Kobe Bryant between 05, 06, and 07. Those teams were not built to win championships, but you acquire Ariza, you acquire Pau Gasol, you acquire Ron Artest, you bring back Derek Fisher, and look what happened. And then you had a couple guys here that added some flair and added some depth.
But that literally took 2 off seasons, Joe.
Yeah.
So you need at least 2 in any sport.
Yes. And then you have to also factor in that LeBron is taking up a lot of money for a guy who isn't closing games with Luka or whatever. And it's not going to get better year in and year out. At that, this is still going to deteriorate to some degree. So I don't know what the plan is for next offseason. I know what they're going to do this offseason because LeBron is signed through next year. The question will be, will LeBron retire next year? And not him saying he's going to retire. Will the Lakers say, we're not extending you? That's going to be an interesting decision that they're going to make this offseason. That's the one I'm waiting on. Because if that happens, now you know what direction the Lakers are going, and it's going to be a little bit easier to understand that they're going to go after particular talent between this offseason and next offseason to where, okay, now we're going to build for Luka and let's go after it. Let's see here. What else did I get here? Okay. Shout out to Joker for the super chat, by the way. I don't know why my computer's being slow right now. Let's see.
How'd Kyrie do in the finals, Kumba?
Okay. That he either is trolling or he didn't watch the series.
He didn't watch the series.
No,
That's
he didn't.
The point.
Kyrie
he didn't watch the series.
And this we have on tape. You just got to go back to the summer. Kyrie Irving was destroyed in that series. Now they exploited Luka on defense, but Luka was still dropping 30 in all five in the 5 games.
Yeah,
Kyrie was not
27, 8, and 8, but he got shut down somehow.
Kyrie got destroyed in that entire series. There was 2 games where I didn't even know he was on the court. That's how bad he was in that series. If Kyrie had showed up the way Kyrie shows up, I think they win the series. But I don't really give a shit. It's Dallas. It's last year. It has nothing to do with us now. Luka is here, and Luka's going to be the guy, and I'm going to support him. And that's it. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and after every loss keep blaming this and blaming that. I'm tired of blaming. Tonight was a team loss with the same deficiencies that we've been talking about all year. So we're going to have to wait and see if JJ can figure this thing out at some point, because it doesn't look like he's figured out the nuances of being able to inbound the ball. Hold on, let me get. I feel like JY's been asking me questions all night, and I haven't been able to highlight him. Hey, Joe and Sean, is losing in the first round disappointment since the team again? Yes, it is. This is a bad loss, especially when you're a 3rd seed. If they were the 6th seed, it wouldn't. When they were the 7th seed or the 7th seed, the last few years, it wasn't that much of a shocker, I guess. Well, they didn't lose in the first round in 3 years ago, but you know what I mean. It's this is a disappointment. Yeah, this should have been at least a 2-2 series now, but they just cannot do the little things, and it's just haunted them all year. I haven't highlighted any of Rode Ordell's stuff yet in a while. Let's see here. LeBron shouldn't be the closer. The closer should be Luka. Luka hasn't closed all series and has been much better closer. Yeah, I don't know why they're not creating an offense. I don't know why JJ is not allowing Luka to set up somewhere where they can get him the ball with some space. Luka, several times when he's wide open, for some weird reason, when the defense just absolutely collapses, he hits those shots, especially if he's wide open. So they got to take advantage of that. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay, Tiffany. Let's see here. Are you a Tiffany? Are you Tiffany, or are you the husband of Tiffany, using your wife's or Will's thing? Just so we know, because I talk to women different than I talk to men. I'm sorry. I'm like that.
Look, Joe, if the Lakers lose in the first round, are you going to be disappointed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed too. I'm not going to say I'm going to be surprised though. When we looked at this, the Wolves won 49 games. Like these are 2 pretty close teams in terms of how they play the game. It's just a different style. The Lakers rely on a 2-headed monster with superstars, and then a 3rd star with Reeves, and you hope the others give you something. The others always give you something for the Wolves. It's a matter of is Ant and Julius going to complement that, and they have through the 4 games. So the Wolves are taking advantage of what the Lakers give up, and the Lakers are not taking advantage of anything, Joe.
No, and it's tough because they were up by 10 and they were weathering it for almost half the quarter, and then they just collapsed. They've
been up by 10 in both games.
They
like last year in Denver.
They keep wishful thinking that he's 28, 29 feet away. Just give him the shot. You should have closed in on Edwards. Close in on him. Make him drive. Why would you? You know he can make that shot. Why would you risk that? This is not 2005. This is 2025. They make these shots now, and it's better to give up a 2 in those situations than a 3. If Naz Reid, especially Naz Reid too, in his girly 2-handed shot, right? If you close those guys out and make them go to the basket, even if they get the 2, you're probably still up a couple possessions by not allowing those extra 2 points to be there. But it's not being executed. It's a combination of poor execution, maybe mental laziness, not understanding the moment. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's easy for us to just sit here and gaze and not have the pressure on us. But then again, they are getting paid millions and millions of dollars to do this. So I can't say to a plumber, "Hey, you're a plumber, right? Yeah. Well, you make a pretty good living, right? Yeah. Well, why can't you fix my toilet?"
Oh, I'm not feeling so great today.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to look at.
I've got a temperature of
I don't fix
99.
toilets.
Yeah.
Do I have to fix toilets to know, hey man, that you should do this? You're a plumber. You should be able to fix the toilet.
Yeah. If after 2 minutes you don't know which side of the wrench you're using, then I know.
Hold on, Tiffany. Tiffany, what was your? Okay, hold on. Let me get Tiffany here.
Joe, and I think it's obvious at this point that whatever people thought of Jackson Hayes, he's not getting a huge pay increase in the summer.
Probably not.
He's not. He is who he is. He is who he is, and this is the issue that you were always going to have. Me and Gerald talked about. I'm sure you guys mentioned it as well. It's going to be an everyman at the 5. You're going to have DFS there. You're going to have LeBron there. Rui's going to be there. For God's sakes, we've had to play Vando there in this series. So that's 4 different guys playing the 5.
Tiffany, I don't know why Laker fans thought Minnesota was an easier play than the Warriors. Maybe just the fact that the Warriors are a 4-time champ the last decade. Maybe Steph is still in a lot of people's minds an elite player. He's still a very good player, all-star player, but I don't know if he's elite like he used to be. The problem with the Minnesota series for us, and this is on record, is I didn't want them to travel. I didn't want them to travel if they didn't have to. So I was hoping for Golden State or LA in the first round because I didn't think things had to fall perfectly for them to have a chance at making a run here. A lot of it would has to do with taxing themselves out, resting and things like that. And looking at someone like a McDaniel or Randall, I didn't expect those guys. I'm not fronting here and telling you, oh, I knew these guys were going to be. No, I didn't know Randall was going to be doing drop steps and hitting threes on the regular. I didn't think McDaniels was going to drop 25 points in a playoff game. I knew he'd play good defense. I knew he'd make it hard on Austin Reeves, but I didn't think he'd be dropping 25. My issue with playing Minnesota was the energy that they were going to have to expense on this team, even if they had gone 5, even if they had gone 6, and they were somewhat in control of the series. I didn't want that. And what ended up happening is they looked dead in game 1, even at home.
Well,
and I don't know if they would have done that against Golden State.
Joe, we just I'm not going to play it for copyright issues, but we just heard from JJ Redick a few minutes ago. He said that they made the decision to go with the starting 5 all throughout the second half at halftime. So this is a quick hook here, Joe. If JJ's going to insert you and you're not playing well within the first 2 or 3 minutes, he's just going to hook you, man. He hooked Hayes. He hooked Gabe Vincent when Vincent wasn't playing up to the standards. So, I mean, essentially, Joe, we're going with like the 5-man starters with Jackson Hayes playing like 4 or 5 minutes. So essentially, it's are 4 starters plus DFS off the bench. That's not going to win you any rounds in the NBA playoffs. If you can only rely on 5 guys, you have to be at least able to rely on 7. But if you can only rely on 5 guys, that's not going to get it done.
He did what he had to do, and they had a 10-point lead going into the fourth, and the other team just made long threes, 3 in a row. They ended up taxing him out. But even when they didn't do that, can't lose focus on, even though they played a 7 or 8 man rotation during the regular season, they still were making these mistakes, not being able to inbound the ball, not being able to get the ball to the right guy for a last second shot. Everything was a scramble. Even that last play was a scramble, and the sets were horrible. The screens were horrible. Just terrible fundamentals, terrible execution on everything. Because apparently they don't practice. Apparently they don't teach fundamentals. I don't know what else these guys can do. Why are they not practicing? Are they trying to save energy? Okay. If you need to save energy for that reason, then you need to get rid of those guys, including the guys that are supposed to be your stars. This is an execution. This is a repetitive thing. It's not an accident that you'd hear back in the day that, I hate saying things like that. I feel like I'm sound like an old man, but I'm using it in a comparison way. Not, hey, I wish it was like that. But the practices were more intense than the games. And when the practices are more intense than the game becomes easier because you already played the game. You're already equipped. You're already conditioned to deal with the effects of that. You have to mimic what happens in the game before. Just like a boxer who spars with someone who's good. You want to be able to get that feel of something real because it's hard, even if it's not. But you have to kind of manipulate your mind into thinking it's real so that you can better prepare. Free throws. How do you mimic the pressures of a free throw? You create it in practice. Is it something where you bet $100? Is it something where you got to go clean the latrine? Something like that. That's the conditioning. It's the method playing. I just made that word up. Just like a method actor, it's a method activity in your game where you can manipulate a sequence so that when the sequence is in real life, in a real game, your body's somewhat conditioned by it. But these guys are not. They're not there. And I'm thinking it's all over the NBA because too much is spent during these games, and they don't want to practice anymore. I don't know.
And it's the reffing too, Joe. The refs blow a critical call today in the Pistons Knicks games. And it's SpaghettiOs. We'll just make it transparent in the last 2 minutes. Just like we'll get it tomorrow. The referees missed a kick out of bounds play on Julius Randle. They missed a tripping call on Jane McDaniels. It'll be the same bullshit tomorrow. All the list of grievances, we got it for you. We own it. We're the NBA. We own it. We'll gladly call it the refs when they make a mistake. Now, we won't train them to be better at their job, Joe, but we'll make sure we get it right.
Let's see what JY wrote here. Hold on, JY. Hey, Joe, you have to shoot free throws in practice and make game situations when you're tired. No one shoots free throws from the fresh in the game. Yeah, it's the inbound ball too, inbounding the ball.
But Joe, we've also heard it from players and coaches, and you can't recreate that kind of pressure, though.
No,
with 18,000 people and millions watching at home, you can't recreate that.
No, you can't recreate
in the aggregate.
Yeah, you can't recreate it in any way, right? But you manipulate yourself into conditioning yourself to that. That's why the practices need to be harder. but they're worried about injuries. They're
Like
worried about whatever.
I love Kobe Bryant so much, man. When he talked about practice, when him and Brady talk about practice, I get goosebumps. I see it. No, seriously. When you talk about practice being more important than the game, because if I practiced every simulated activity, Joe, play, and just recreated it during the game, it's nothing to me. It's like I've done it 100 times before, right?
Correct.
But every inbound pass, every possession in that last 2 minutes, it's like cringeworthy right now. It's cringeworthy.
And AR was wide open too initially. He could have got the ball to AR on that inbound. It's just bad, man. If you're making it obvious that you want to give the ball to Luka, you're making it even worse. You got to give it to the guy that's open. When Sasha got open in 2010 in the 2010 in Game 7, right? They got him the ball right away because he was open. Now that worked out because Sasha actually did want the ball, which is probably why he got open so quick, and then sunk 2 free throws to seal the game. These are prepared moments. As minuscule as you think it is, it's not. It's a prepared moment, and in that moment, it was executed. It was clutch. It was accumulation of all the preparation.
Like Joe, it almost feels that working on a skill for these guys, and I get it, for any 22 to 25-year-old person seems like a chore. Well, it's supposed to be a chore. This is your job. You're supposed to be competent at it. And part of being competent is little things. Like, for example, if I quit my job today and Joe said, yeah, Sean, you can work at Simblades tomorrow. Well, I appreciate that, Joe, but I'd be a terrible employee off the bat because I wouldn't have any idea where to shit or wind my watch. And Joe can't have that. And Joe can't have that. And JJ can't have that. And Jeannie Buss can't have that because you're a professional basketball player. You're supposed to be able to shit and wind your watch on the floor on an inbound pass, on a duck in, and you have to make that layup. But Rui Hachimura and Jared Vanderbilt cannot make layups to save their life, Joe. If their life was on the line and they need to make a layup in a game, Joe, I don't think either one could do it.
No, and bad quarters continued to plague the Lakers. Fourth quarter just happened to be the quarter that got them tonight. And as far as why Luka only had 1 rebound in 46 minutes, rebounding usually is equate to people who are tired or lazy. Do you think Luka was lazy or was he tired?
No, it's an effort thing. He just didn't have the effort.
Yeah. So whether right or wrong, he couldn't get that done either because they were getting killed on the boards. I think the offensive rebounds were, what was it? Let's see, offensive rebounds. 11, the Lakers, and Minnesota had 18. Lakers hit 19 of 47 from 3.
But we missed 6 layups, point blank.
Yeah. Every little thing matters. You think it doesn't matter in the second quarter when you miss layups? That missed layup by Luka was a burner. That was a 7-point swing when that happened.
That was a killer, man. That was a killer.
That those type of things, that's the thing that killed. That's the thing that just derails your game so much.
They say it's the little things that kill, Joe. It's true.
Well, I wouldn't equate the height issue, Tiffany. Westbrook he's listed at 6'4". He's probably more 6'2". He was a rebounding machine. It's about effort. It's about a motor. Well, Westbrook has a different motor than most people. He's got something else there. He's got a
Charles Barkley was all 6'5". How many rebounding titles did Charles win?
That's a good question. I don't know the exact number. What is it?
I think it's 2. I think he won 2.
Charles Barkley. I'm going to remember this now if I see it, so I want to get on it right now. He won one.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I thought he won at least one in the 80s.
He won one in 87.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But not in the 90s. It's strange.
No.
So he must have finished second a bunch of times then.
That's how it always was. I think Magic won a few assist titles, but John Stockton won a shitload.
Yeah, he won. Yes. Only one. That's shocking.
I'm not gonna bring up the refs. There was some bad calls, but I don't really care. The refs didn't cost the Lakers a game tonight. It was the Lakers' inability to do what we've been begging them to do all year, which is get the ball in and create a plan to get a good, clean shot in the last minutes of a game, and they can't do it. Let's see. Joe, this is a roster that is like Dallas when they traded for Kyrie, gave up all the defense, didn't make playoffs, and after they got players in offseason, they made it to the finals. I think their team is better than what Dallas was at that point, and DFS is a good defender and a guy that can play regularly because he actually makes shots. They need a center who could be a problem, at least if you're thinking about getting to the basket, you have to go, oh, shoot, I have to worry about this guy just a little bit, even if it's not Hakeem in his prime or anything like that. And then someone that can just get the pressure off of Luka. Well, if they trap Luka and he gives it to this particular player, he can get to the basket on a regular basis. LeBron in 2016, 17, 18, we wouldn't need that guy because LeBron would have been that guy. But they don't have that guy right now. And if you want to preserve LeBron for those moments to be probably maybe his last year next year, you want to make sure that you have someone else that can do the majority of that.
Actually, you know what? That's actually good for Barkley for winning it just once because it's him, then Hakeem, David Robinson, Dennis Rodman, Dennis Rodman, Dennis Rodman, Dennis Rodman, Dennis Rodman, Dennis Rodman.
Here, let me see this real quick.
I got here, Joe.
Dennis Rodman. So Dennis won 7 rebounding titles in a row.
91,
92,
91 to
98.
97, 98.
But he won Defensive Player of the Year back-to-back seasons in 90, 91. Yeah, I mean,
Well, in that time, Joe, Dikembe Mutombo won 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards.
Wow. He came in second in 92. Yeah. Hall of Famer indeed. When you look at it.
Anyway, a lot of Joe, shit happens, right? I mean, nobody expected Luka to be sick as a dog in Minnesota either.
No.
Felt like $1 million after getting a lot of rest, but the effort wasn't there on the boards, Joe.
No, and to answer Tiffany's questions again, Tiffany, I don't know if you answered this before. I don't know if I missed it. Are you female or male? Please let me know now. So Jokic carried his team yesterday with 4 bench points and Murray being horrible. He had 36, 21, and 8. Thoughts on that? Well, that team is geared towards Jokic. It's built for his skill set. Luka doesn't have that here. Luka has a kind of a mirror that's there. So until Luka has a team that's like what they were building in Dallas last year, but then making sure that they have their second star be a little bit more effective towards the end of the game, end of the year.
Like, okay, and I'm glad you brought that up, Joe. See, because let's look at exactly what kind of big men you put around Luka. Okay, so you had Derek Lively, pogo stick who could run north and south and is a lob threat. Daniel Gafford, physical, can post up or shoot the 3. Not really much of a lob threat, but creates space. So you have two big men that can create space for Luka Doncic, either north and south or east or west. and another who was a lob threat. Do any 2-3 Lakers front court players equal Gafford and or Lively, Joe? Hayes has a sprinkling of it, not a lot. Rui has a little sprinkling of it, not a lot. LeBron, no. Jameson, no. Alex Len, no. So this is who you got right now. This is why it's going to take at least one more offseason, probably 2 more, to put a really solid team behind Luka.
I'm not gonna speculate what's gonna happen this summer in terms of specifics of who's coming, who isn't. I do know this: this trade in February was made for the next decade, and whatever happened this season would have been gravy. That's it. The only problem is waiting another year. Is that's another year that LeBron has under his belt, which basketball can sneak up on you very quickly.
And I understand that, but Joe, let's just say it. It's Sunday, April 27th, 2025. Joe, the Lakers were playing basketball before LeBron James even entered the NBA. Yep. And there'll be a Los Angeles Lakers team playing basketball after he's gone. And this is about the Lakers winning titles. It's not about him winning titles. If you want to win a title in LA again, 2 things need to happen. 1, you need to take a significant pay cut. Would you be willing to do that? I know you would. I know a lot of other people would. With LeBron James. And 2, when you're gone, Bronny's gone too. Because we need to retool this roster around Luka Doncic, and Bronny James isn't a part of that.
I think that's going to happen. I think the fact that they didn't tell anybody about what was going on was a clear indication that they knew when this opportunity came, kept it under wraps for 3 weeks, and said, okay, if we make this happen, we set the Lakers up for the next decade. And Luka's not one of those guys that is labor intensive in his game. He's gonna be very, very. If Chris Paul can play what I thought
82 games at age 40.
Yeah. He played probably 6 or 7 years longer than I thought he was going to play. And this is with us even knowing that back in 2011 that he had some knee issues that they said, I don't know how long he's going to last. Shoot, it's 14 seasons later. Here he is. So I don't have any problems understanding that, hey, we're going to be building this thing. Where I'm going to feel comfortable is I'm going to feel comfortable that the Lakers tell LeBron, we love you. You're going to have a jersey put up there. And hell, we might put a statue out of the crypt for you, whatever. But 2026 is as far as we're going to go right now. If you happen to help win a championship and you look spry, then we'll talk in the offseason. But they cannot extend them at the end of this season if they don't win it all. They cannot. They have to go in the next season really being prepared for what's coming. And what's coming is there's a possibility of something happening in 2027. The Greek Freak and the Serbian Bull. I'm just making that up. I'm sorry, the Serbian horse.
Yeah.
There you go. The Serbian Clydesdale.
The sombrero of Samba might be making its way to LA.
And imagine LeBron retires after 2026 and the Lakers are putting together a team for Luka. Think about this for a second. Luka's 26. He's going to be 27 at the end of next year, which means he'll be 28 going into the...
That Jack Nicholson smile from Something's Gotta Give.
20 in 2020, he'll be 28 in 2027, and there's a possibility if they allow themselves to be free agents where Giannis or Jokic could test the market. I don't think it's going to happen because I just think Supermax contracts are going to be signed, but there's a possibility. And getting Luka Doncic pretty much opened up any possibility from here on out. I don't think anybody's ever going to be warranted to say, oh, this is not going to happen. We know what the contracts are. We've seen them. They have an option to decline in 2027, the remaining, money in their contract, and become free agents that year. And that's something that I'm going to be monitoring between now and then. But I believe if Jeannie and Rob want to really make this work, should the Lakers lose the series or lose in the second round or whatever, they have to probably tell LeBron that this 2026 is going to be the last commitment we make to you, but it's still open for the summer should you guys end up winning it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a quarterback. Will Howard. I'm not a fan of Ohio State quarterbacks. Sorry, CJ Stroud. I know that you've kind of come into your own a little bit, but I have to see a little bit more. But the history of Ohio State quarterbacks is not good. It's very bad, actually. Very bad.
They let a Heisman Trophy winner just walk out the door.
I mean,
no, they've let him walk out the door, Joe.
I know, but maybe Joe Burrow just wasn't the right fit there. Maybe that's probably why they have bad quarterbacks, because of I think the philosophy at Ohio State is you're going to play Ohio State football whether you like it or not. And LSU said, no, we got Chase here, you got Jefferson here. We'll let you play like it's an NFL team. And Father Fran, if you all know what that is, watch The Water Boy.
And those wrong.
Yeah.
And those wrong.
We live the plan out of that.
I just coach the lines and I let Joe and Joe call the plays. That's Joe Burrow, Joe Brady, everybody.
Joe Soro, do you believe in tonight's game and in the series that Austin should be starter or bench guy? Austin Reeves, I think, would flourish as the sixth starter.
Joe's always said he thought Austin Reeves would be great as a sixth or seventh man.
Yeah,
on a really good team,
on a championship team, a solid championship team. He's the perfect six. He would win 6 Man of the Year awards left and right.
He's improved his dribble so much. It's hard not to doubt him. But the fact that in the NBA playoffs, when you're in that phone booth against another perimeter player, Joe, he hasn't cut the grade yet. It's too much for him at this point. I'm not sure if he gets flummoxed, Joe. If it's in the moment, you freeze. You have a brain freeze. But he's smart enough to read his scouting report, Joe, and he's smart enough to get switches when he wants some screen and rolls or picks. But in the playoffs, it's a different beast. And he's just not quick enough yet. He's just not quick enough to recognize when McDaniels is not hounding him or Edwards is hounding him. He just can't create the space, Joe, he needs.
There's a deficiency in the physical ability to do what you need to do. And that's okay. We get it. That's probably why he didn't get drafted. But he's improved himself so good that there's talk of him being an all-star next year, which I was saying, all right, well, that'd be cool if he did, but I still really hadn't bought into it yet because of those deficiencies. The physicality, the God-given leaping and length and speed of some of these elite athletes. They're elite athletes. They're not. Jaden McDaniel might not ever make an all-star team, but the guy is a athletic marvel. And that's always going to be a problem for guys like Austin Reeves because he's not.
And Joe, all you really need in the NBA to be a really good, complementary player is one counter move. Off somebody attacking you at the corner. And Minnesota has that. McDaniels can dribble out of the corner. So can DiVincenzo. So can Nickeil Alexander-Walker. we've got one guy off the bench who can do that consistently, and he's not really good at it, and that's DFS.
Yeah.
So the Lakers can rely on nobody off their bench who can reliably counter what another team does that when they take away your best offensive repertoire. Just we're limited, Joe. We know that.
And it's likely not going to go away, and it's no surprise if they end up losing Game 5 at home either. I don't see these guys as a team that knows how to really climb through the pressures of certain things. We've seen Luka do it in Dallas. For some weird reason, there's nothing set up for him on this team when it matters. Maybe he's not good enough to, I guess, figure that out with this particular roster. Maybe it's a bad time in his career where he's not making it happen. I don't know. I really don't care.
Joe, to put it in perspective, I realized Gerald was trying to focus in on the offensive rebounding that led to what happened at the end of the game. I'm gonna venture off into another department, Joe, and look at the minutes played. Lakers had 5 players play over 35 minutes tonight, Joe, and they had 4 play over 40. The Wolves had 1 player play over 40 minutes tonight. Do you want to take a guess at who that was?
Was
Ant.
it McDaniels? Oh, was
It's
it Ant?
Ant.
Oh, it was Ant, yeah.
Randall played 38 minutes, Joe. So the Lakers had 4 guys playing over 40. The Wolves only needed 1. That's depth right there.
And that's a gut punch
there,
too.
man.
That's a gut punch. Considering JJ committed to this at halftime, he knew he was going to need these guys to finish it off because of how important this game is. And they win this game, there's a very good chance that they get home court. Now they can just win the home games and call it a series, even if it goes 7. But now they have to win 2 games on the road in a year where they've just been terrible on the road and they're not good at closing games. I don't see these guys at the moment. I don't see these guys, I guess, meeting the moment. I could see them getting blown out at home because they got blown out at home in Game 1 after a 9-day or 8-day rest.
Because, I mean, regardless of what we see, the analysis is pretty correct here. One of the biggest chunks out of the Luka Doncic creative block is his ability to create opportunities above the rim for a lob threat. When you don't have that, you take a huge chunk of his offensive away and you allow a team with defensive prowess, as the Wolves have with their perimeter players, to box in a very creative player because he has no outlet otherwise. That's a problem. Regardless of what you want to do, you're going to hit that brick wall. It doesn't matter what you do. So that's a huge issue. And we tried to emphasize it, but I guess a lot of people just either weren't paying attention to what we were saying, Joe, or overlooked it, or wanted to hear what they wanted to hear. But we've talked about this for a while, that the lack of a lob threat is going to be a problem at some point. We're at some point now.
Well, with that, if you just chimed in, Lakers lose tonight to the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 4, 116-113. It's for me, it's a tale of 2 different types of shows tonight. One was anger, one was just frustration. The other was calm and the realities of what's coming. And while I'm not making a prediction, I'm going to make it very clear that I wouldn't be surprised if they got blown out in Game 5 at home, because their temperament has said this year that's the kind of stuff that can happen, and they'd accept it. they don't have the oomph. They don't have that guy that's on this team that can kind of pierce your soul into guiding you into a different area where you want to win. And with that, I am going to call it a night here, Sean. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. We had a pretty good showing tonight. We had almost
No
200
Joker.
people.
Shout out to the super chat. I know we didn't
Yeah.
get you earlier, but shout out No Joker.
Shout out to the super chats by everybody. Shout out to the guys that asked some amazing questions. Tiffany, welcome to the show. Please like and subscribe and set up your alerts because we'll be doing this more and more. Especially if the Lakers lose, we'll be talking a lot about preparation for the summer because I think they're going to have some room to do some things. Now, Div X-Ray says Lakers in 7. I hope so. I really do. I think it would be an epic return, an epic comeback. It would add to LeBron's legacy of coming back from 3-1 deficits. But in the end, a lot of this is their fault, but there's also a lot of it that's not their fault. They just don't have the right pieces right now with this team. And playing a team that has 2 players that's playing above their heads wasn't something I expected. And that is what ended up creating this issue and creating the 3-1 lead with Minnesota. So with that, thank you all for being here tonight. We will be back probably tomorrow. And until next time, we'll see you next time.